All right, guys, what's going on? Sergeant Serious here. So, this week on Tuesday, March 9th, the Nintendo Switch finally got Apex Legends. So, I downloaded it as soon as it released on the eShop and did the whole tutorial and all that. Started streaming on YouTube, and there's a lot of issues with the game that I've noticed. Other people have noticed as well, but stuff has to get fixed, and we're gonna go over a lot of the stuff that has to get fixed and stuff like that. You guys see the video? It's playing behind me from the live stream. I took the video and cut it up and chopped it and screwed it, and yeah. So you can see some of the issues that are within this game being on the Switch. Right? It's not just the game itself; it's just the game being ported over to the Switch. Right? So some of the major issues that I've noticed, and this is a big one. This is the one that really eats me at my core, and that is the buttons are swapped. And when I say that the buttons are swapped, if you're playing on console like Xbox, PlayStation, you know that the A and B buttons to do pick up things or to swap items and stuff like that, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're on a console, you know what those buttons do, right? You get a habit of those buttons. Well, the Nintendo Switch, because when they came out with the Nintendo originally, A and B were flipped backwards, right? So it's B on bottom, A to the top right. Now, that's how it plays in game. And I did not know that until I started playing a couple of games when I actually started looting, which is actually extremely hard to do on the Switch, whether you're playing it docked or you're playing it handheld. It's extremely hard. I have to go in and re-keybind everything and change everything over and all that nonsense, which I felt like I shouldn't have to, because no matter if you're playing on PC with the controller, you're playing on Xbox with the controller, you're playing on PlayStation with the controller, the button layouts are the same, right? You know which button does what. Doesn't matter. You could go over to your friend's house, they got a PlayStation, you're an Xbox guy, pick up the controller, you know what the buttons do. Same thing, right? Why that didn't port over to the Nintendo side, I have no idea. So basically the buttons are flopped. So the A button is your action button, your B button is your other button, right? So you have to get into that. So I've lost a lot of gun battles or looting due to that issue. I had to go in, reset everything, and change the buttons and keybinds and all that stuff like that. And I felt like that was something they should have mentioned, that your buttons are going to be flopped. And it's irritating. I have a lot of streams right now that it's just me in frustration because I had to switch everything over, and I couldn't get the loot that I needed in time, like doing hot swaps of armor, hot weapon swaps, stuff like that. Picking up grenades. Speaking of picking up grenades, we're gonna get into the next issue, and this is a pretty big one. Picking up items off the ground. There's a proximity limit, right? So you can see it here. I'm trying to pick up stuff out of crates. I'm trying to pick stuff up off the ground. I have to stand almost directly over them, or directly in front of them. Whereas if you're playing on a PC or console, you don't have to be that close on them. You have to be within a couple feet, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're looking at it and it gives you the command to pick up, you should be able to pick up on the Switch. That functionality is missing. You have to be directly on top to pick up said items. And it's frustrating. It really is, because you're running around, you're trying to loot, trying to get the stuff, and you can't, because the game isn't registering that you're looking at it or picking it up or trying to pick it up. The buttons just aren't being transferred into the game, and it's not sensing that you're trying to pick it up. It's really frustrating. I hate it, that to with the point where I had to stand directly over what I'm looking or what I want to pick up, just for it to even sense that I want it. And a lot of people have also noticed that too when they were watching me stream. They're like, "Why do you have to stand directly over? Why are you trying to, like, you don't have to be that close to it?" I'm like, "I know, right? You telling me?" And this was evident in like game 2 when I actually started looting faster and faster. And I just noticed it. I'm like, dude, why do I have to stand over stuff? It wasn't a lot of fun. More issues as the night progressed. Like we started getting more into games and stuff like that, playing on the LTM that everybody hates. We also noticed that I just don't think the internal graphics processor can handle this game. There's a lot of issues. I would turn around and the person that I was fighting is invisible, and all I see is their gun waving around. My gun would disappear. Items would disappear. Parts of the map would be different. Like it would like glitch out. Stuff that I've experienced today was I got kicked out of a ranked match. The Nintendo Switch just stopped the game altogether. It froze. We're on the final battle. We only had one squad left, and yeah, kicked me out the game. The other issue in the ranked game we had was my audio went out. It was a weird clinking sound when I was shooting the gun. I was shooting a alternator, and it was like a clink sound. It was like clink, 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 clink. So like it like dimmed the audio really quickly, and it was weird. And we ended up losing that. We came in second, and then the person who killed me was invisible, and I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear him right behind me. So that was another frustrating game that we decided to play. And yeah, lost 2 ranked matches due to the game's inability to run, pretty much. We noticed that the game runs slow. A lot of people who have the game on the Switch, the game it seems slow. The 30 FPS it's more like 25 FPS to 20. Another point that was brought up to my attention was the field of view option is missing. So you're basically really close to everything, and you can't see a broader perspective of the map or what you're running into and stuff like that. So I was brought up, and I was like, yeah, that is missing. Where's that at? So like if you go in the video settings, there's only one thing in there, literally, and it has zero to do with the gameplay. I'd really like to see that come back. But there was another thing that a viewer brought up to me was the player movement was slow. The way like you go around like running around and looking at things, it was just funky. And you could just tell like it was the Switch was having an issue running the game. It seriously has like, it's like you're running the game on like a PS3, and it just can't keep up with what's happening on screen. A lot of things aren't rendering in. It was just weird the way the game is playing. The button swap is one of the major flaws, because nobody ever uses the B button or anything like that to like navigate through the menus and stuff like that. And your instinct is to press A, and you're actually hitting the B. That's just a major flaw in the game. In the way they ported it over, they should have ported it over better. The game should run like this is an issue with Fortnite as well on the Switch. If the game was originally brought to this and it has this button functionality, it should be the same on all consoles, regardless if it's a Nintendo product, PlayStation product, or an Xbox product. Regardless, that should be standard. You shouldn't be excited like, oh, this game just finally came to my console and stuff's wrong with it immediately off the bat. Like the gameplay is different, everything is different about it. It's just not great. Like killing people, great time. Got a lot of kills today, stuff like that. The gameplay's funky, and I don't know why it plays this weird. I don't even know. I could play this game on a 3-year-old laptop that'll still run the game great, by the way, and I won't have as many issues as I've had within the first 3 days of this game launching on the console. Like they had time to make sure it functioned, and it doesn't. In my eyes, it's not functioning. we just don't know. There's just a lot of issues that needs to be addressed and needs to be looked at. Maybe this game just isn't meant for the Switch and it should be removed from the Switch. Like, yeah, it had promise. Like, we were all excited. Like, yeah, it's coming to the Switch finally. I could go out and hook up to Wi-Fi and play in the middle of Starbucks and have a great freaking time, while I'm drinking my latte. We all had that dream, but that dream sadly isn't what it one was hyped up about, what was talked about, what everybody was excited for to play, and all this. People were out buying Switches because like, oh, we're gonna be able to play Apex Legends on the Switch, and the game's pretty much unplayable. So what happened? Something didn't transfer over correctly. I don't know. It's just funky. I'm getting lag in loading screens also, like a lot of lag. Yeah, see, so right there, the video settings is that one item. What that's supposed to do? That's when it was brought up to me, like, there's your FOV is freaky looking, and I'm like, yeah, you're all right. I didn't even notice it. I just thought it was funky and weird. But after a while, I did notice it. Like a majority of your shots, if you're fighting up close, you're hip firing. There's just no way to pinpoint it. You're hip firing, plain and simple. I still can't figure out what button opens my backpack. I've been trying to figure that out. I've hit every single button. None of them's opening my backpack, which is weird. I did get everything that was promised. The 30 battle pass for free, the skin for Pathfinder, all that good stuff. So that was actually true. I wish it would port over to my other accounts. Why we don't have cross-platform progression is ridiculous. If Call of Duty can do it and Fortnite can do it, why Apex can't do it? It's beyond me. It's ridiculous. This game's in it's almost third year. You guys should be able to do something. But that's pretty much all I have. If you guys have experienced any glitches and stuff like that, leave a like, comment, put it down below. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe, it's free. You guys can catch me on Twitch, YouTube, all the good stuff. Everything will be down in the description. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Enjoy the last of this gameplay, and you'll see me die and get frustrated. But I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.